Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. Now, you may well be asking, what am I doing inside the sort of social metaverse IMVU? Not the kind of place I usually hang out, but I have actually looked at this in the past, and there's a whole bunch of stuff actually happening that's pretty interesting around this. Although clearly I am not a prime user of this, which is a product that skews actually not too female, 55% female, but skews pretty low, young in terms of age range. So you're sort of talking 18, 24 up to 35. So that's what's going on with IMVU. So it's been around for a while. It's sort of one of these sort of online sort of I mean, they didn't call it metaverse back then, sort of an online social experience, sort of 3D. So not like Habbo, which is sort of 2D pixelated. This is much more or much more sort of sort of I guess traditional 3D graphics. Very much into sort of fashion stuff going on here. Very much into people sort of chatting and yeah, it's sort of a bit sort of ad hoc dating. It's not a dating site per se, but it has that sort of stuff in there. But over time, sort of these economies are sort of developed in here where people will do sort of build sort of events that their friends can go to, and people will sort of obviously build clothes. There's about 250,000 creators. You have to become a creator, go through a process of doing that, and they're building different 3D assets and clothes. People will do things like do artwork on your avatar or add nails, and it's sort of interesting sort of stuff here. The gig marketplace. What am I doing? What am I talking about this with in terms of blockchain? Well, so this has been happening for a while. So there's this VCOIN that they launched years ago now. So VCOIN, I don't have any, but VCOIN is in fact a cryptocurrency. So it is sort of a stable coin. It is a sort of lockdown sort of system. So there is a sort of wallet within your account here, but it is you don't have access to the keys. So basically, the developer has access to the keys here. You can transfer stuff in and out to other wallets. There are limits on that. But it's sort of like a sort of halfway house, but it is a proper cryptocurrency. It's sort of say a stable coin. So if you want to buy it, we can see here $1 gives you 250 VCoins. So that's how that works. So why you like VCoin? So VCoin gives you some better benefits in terms of the credits you get here. So I've got some credits. Basically, just sign up and launch and you get some credits. You can use those credits to buy most of the things in the game, but the credits are you can buy them as well. So they are sort of a paid for currency, but they are not. These are just like a standard centralized currency. So VCoin, you can actually take them out and maybe use them in different ways. So that's what's going on with the sort of currencies. The other sort of big thing that launched recently, actually in November last year, so a few months ago, was NFTs. So we can see here in November in 2022, they started doing NFT drops. So at the moment, these are NFTs that have been created by the developer themselves. You can see here they have it says NFT here. This is just the shop. So these are NFT exclusives. And we can see here that these are, you have to use the VCoin to buy those. But these are things that they have done drops on. So the developers sold these, and then these are secondary sales. So these are people who've bought the drop and now reselling these at the usual amount of sort of probably ridiculous prices. What's that? Is that $20, something like that? Yeah, that's right. Is that right? Okay, just on the math there. So that's $40, of course. The pink was $40 if you're going to buy those. So there's a whole bunch of usual stuff here. So these are just the non-NFT things that are priced in the credits, which you can buy the credits. You can also earn the credits by doing stuff. But it's sort of interesting that over this period of time, the slowly this sort of cryptocurrency, you think of little blockchain assets have been brought in. So as I say, VCoin's been in for quite a long time now, a couple of years. It's just a sort of better money in the ecosystem. You don't have to use it. It's slightly incentivized to use it. It's easier to get paid if you're a creator. It's easier to get paid out in the VCoin rather than the credits, because the credits are just sort of controlled by the system. And now we have NFTs actually running on the immutable blockchain. I think you can only buy them within the marketplaces within this app rather than it being on open marketplaces. Although I have to double check that. I did have a quick look, but couldn't see anything there. But it doesn't sort of really make a lot of sense at the moment that you would buy these outside of this application. because you need to have your avatar is within this app. So the avatar is not available outside yet, but although clearly that may happen. So that's sort of interesting in the sense that this is an app that's been around for a while. It has I don't know, millions of registered users, and now they're actually saying that in terms of people using the VCOIN, there have been 1 million wallets created. So in order to use VCOIN, they're creating a custodial wallet, so they're in control of the wallet, but you need a wallet in order to sort of create this VCOIN. It's interesting that nowhere does this mention that it is a blockchain. Nowhere does it mention it's a cryptocurrency. It just says, unlike credits, you can turn VCOIN into cash without joining this earn program. So if you have the credits, you have to join this program and go through verification. You can make unlimited VCOIN transactions up to $1,000 a month. You can use VCOIN outside of the app. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Uphold is a sort of cryptocurrency sort of wallet system that I think was what they launched VCOIN with. I don't know if it's only available on Uphold still, or there's other places use it now. But I think it's an ERC20 token, so you should be able to use it in something like MetaMask. So that's what's going on in terms of IMVU. Interesting that this sort of very big, slightly sprawling ecosystem is now slowly over the years these elements are being integrated into the system. And the next big thing that will happen here is that creators, so people who are creating these clothes will in the sort of near future, next few months, be able to mint these into their own NFTs and then sell them for VCOIN. There will be another token coming in called VCORE, and that will be required if you're a creator and you want to sort of mint out these things. So effectively that'll be the sort of the payment method that you'll use. Let's have a quick look at what's going on with VCOIN. So let's click off here. Okay, so here we are looking at VCOIN. So MetaJuice is the blockchain subsidiary, the company running this blockchain stuff. There's another company on top of them called Together Labs, but MetaJuice is the sort of blockchain bit of that. So they've got this VCOIN, which actually, as a token, I believe is live. It's not integrated yet in any apps, sort of not really live yet as we would understand it as users. So play, create, and earn. So if we think of sort of VCOIN as being a bit of a utility sort of payment system, VCORE will be a bit more sort of like a governance kind of community token. Price will, I would imagine, fluctuate. So typical sort of legal things going on in VCORE will not be available for US or Canadian residents. That's because of the issues around whether it's a security or not. So there we go. So they're saying it's going to launch into this community with more than 1 million DAUs and 200,000 creators. That is what we just looked at, the IMVU ecosystem. It'll be sort of a reward, engagement, governance sort of system going on here. And then the other interesting bit here is there's this new app they're doing called With Me, calling the next generation social metaverse platform. So sort of IMVU was a Web2 sort of ecosystem community that blockchain stuff's being added to. That's quite hard to do, given the amount of people on there. You're probably always going to have a fairly small sort of subset. It'll always be a minority, I think, with the best one in the world, and in the short term at least. If you're launching something that is sort of more blockchain native, which seems like this With Me will probably be, then it's easy to onboard people. You can get better, deeper integration. Interesting though, it's mobile, so at the moment you can actually look at this. With Me is available as open beta through the Apple App Store. Quite how that integrates with Apple's views on cryptocurrency and NFTs, which they obviously do have views on, we'll wait and see. Roadmaps worth having a look at here. Actually, no, it's in the white paper, isn't it? So we've seen all this before. So VCORE ERC20 token, 8 billion have been created, released over 5 years. So there'll be a sort of initial launch, I suppose, and then this sort of long emission process. So yeah, here we are on the roadmap. So we are here, but some of the things in the last half of 2022 haven't been sort of completed yet. So we've got the VCOIN white paper's not live yet. We've got a light paper, which is what we're looking at now on the website, and VCORE's not been integrated into the IMVU ecosystem yet. That will be when people will be able to start minting using that. and that's here, VCOIN payment for minting. You'll be able to buy and sell NFTs using VCORE rather than VCOIN, and people can sort of choose that as a payment method. And then the rest of 2023, we've got it integrated into the With Me system, which obviously is a less is a sort of developing product. And then you have sort of interoperability between these two things. So that's sort of interesting in a sense that how IMVU and With Me, how they sort of operate, having the same currencies. Can you sort of upsell communities across them? And then you may be going to add to other metaverses. Don't quite know, we don't quite know what that means. And finally, pretty much the same sort of thing. I think you've seen this before. So you can sign up. There's a Discord. And that's what's going on. So I think it is interesting because this sort of stuff, when we think about blockchain games, this is maybe not the sort of stuff we immediately think about. But it has been proven very difficult to integrate blockchain into existing games for various reasons. People are having a good attempt at doing that, but I don't think we've really seen a lot of success. Really, not broad success. Whereas you could argue IMVU, I'm not a kind of key user, so I can't tell, but you could argue sort of integrating it slowly over time into what is already sort of quite a vibrant sort of ecosystem of people creating stuff and selling it and using it to personalize and customize themselves in these sort of it's not really a metaverse, but sort of metaverse type experiences. Actually, you could argue if they have certainly if they have 1 million people owning this sort of token, and if they can get 1 million people using NFTs in this space, then you are seeing something pretty substantial. And I guess we've seen that similarly with something like Reddit, where we've had at least a lot of NFTs created in Reddit. Whether people have sort of understood them or are using them in the long term, we wait and see. But this sort of stuff is about education. It does take time, and I think with some of these big communities, when people are sort of dropping in, I think the average I saw was about 55 minutes. A day people are in IMVU, so they're just in there sort of chatting, socializing, all that sort of stuff. And if just blockchain is sort of part of that over time, it becomes a bigger part of that because it just has these sort of benefits. And we could could always argue, well, this is custodial wallets, this isn't like the proper decentralized future that we all sort of hardcore guys kind of think. But there's places for both those visions, and I think those visions are clearly sort of a ladder. You start off with a custodial wallet, and some people over time then sort of go up the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, whatever. But these features can be added in over time. But the education bit, making it as simple as possible, and making it as functional as possible, making it a use case that is adding extra things that you can't do with the in-game currencies. That's the really valuable thing. So cool. Definitely keep an eye on what's going on with VCORE. Certainly I am. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. See you again soon.